I know what you're thinking. What's he talking about? Crying doesn't lead to success. Hard work, grit, and never backing down. That's what success is made of, right? Let me tell you something. You're wrong. Success doesn't come from pretending you're invincible. It doesn't come from hiding your pain, bottling up your emotions, and pretending everything's fine when it's not. Success comes from confronting your struggles. It comes from accepting the fact that life is hard and that sometimes you'll feel like you can't keep going. But here's the key. That's exactly when success begins. Trust me, I've been there. I know what it feels like to be knocked down, to feel like the world is on top of you, to believe that your dreams are too far away, that you've lost your chance, that everything is falling apart. I've been in that place where the tears come and you think, what's the point? But here's the thing. They're not a sign of weakness. They're a sign that you're human. They're a sign that you're facing the reality of what you're going through. And that's what makes you strong. Crying is not an end. It's a beginning. It's the moment when you finally release all the built-up tension, all the fear, all the frustration, and you get real with yourself. That's when change begins. Not when everything is perfect, not when you have it all figured out. It starts when you let go of the idea that you have to be strong all the time, and you allow yourself to feel. You've got to let it out. You've got to break down before you can rebuild. And that's okay. It's okay to feel weak. It's okay to cry. It's okay to admit that you're struggling. But here's the truth. Don't stay there. Don't let the tears control you. Don't let them define you. Once you let it all out, once you've felt the pain, you have to get up. You have to move forward. Because the tears, the hurt, the pain, it's just fuel. It's just the fire you need to push yourself further, to fight harder. When life hits you hard, it doesn't matter how much you want to quit. What matters is how you respond. It's how you use your pain to drive you forward, to push you to do things you never thought possible. The truth is, every successful person you admire, every person who's made it through the toughest of times, has been to hell and back. They've felt that desperation. They've had those moments where they didn't know how they'd keep going. But they kept going. They cried, they hurt, they struggled. And then they rose. They didn't stay down. They used their pain. They used their failures. They used their tears to build something greater. And that's exactly what you need to do. The hardest moments are the moments where you grow. The moments where you think you can't take another step. Those are the moments when you build your resilience. Those are the moments when you learn how strong you truly are. Those moments, they're not the end. They're the beginning. You see, pain isn't something to fear. Pain is something to embrace. Because in that pain is the power to change, the power to become who you were always meant to be. But you've got to go through it. You've got to face it. You've got to allow yourself to break before you can rebuild. And that's what I want you to understand. You can't run from the tears. You can't avoid the hurt. You can't pretend everything is fine when it's not. You have to go through it. You have to cry. You have to feel. And when you're done, when you've released all of that pain, you have to rise. You have to decide that you're not staying down, that you're going to use everything you've been through to fuel your journey forward. Success doesn't come to the people who never cry. It doesn't come to the people who never break. It comes to the ones who do, who let it all out, and who still choose to get up, to keep fighting, to keep moving. I've been there. I've been broken. I've felt like giving up. I've cried more times than I can count. But you know what? Every time I cried, I learned something. Every tear was a lesson. Every breakdown was a setup for a breakthrough. I didn't let the pain control me. I used it. I let it fuel my fire. And now I'm here. You can be here too. You've got to go through the pain to get to the power. You've got to let the tears fall. You've got to feel everything, but don't stay stuck. Don't let the tears stop you. Let them push you. Let them light a fire in you that no one can put out. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning. And it's up to you whether you let the tears define you or whether you use them to redefine yourself. The tears, the pain, the struggle. They don't mean you're weak. They mean you're human. And that's the first step to greatness. So go ahead, cry, feel it all. Then get the hell up. You've got a future to build, a future that's waiting for you. And it starts right now.